Yeah.
But the port rudder is a very odd place and an odd thing to break or whatever, but at the end of the day, that little nose cone is not particularly structural. You know, the little triangle there, that if that's what I'm understanding what it is, it's the crack, a vertical crack down from the hull towards the leading edge. So it's
yes.
just the nose cone of the rudder.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. We'll see what those guys think, but based on your initial impression, we should be prepared to put the spare on the starboard side.
I think so. Yeah.
We'll get the pulling up again, and
we'll gather more data, and you know, one way or another, we're going to have to put a spare rudder in here. So we'll work towards that.
Yes.
Say from a weather standpoint, basically we get chased up by this ridge. It's going to be lighter on this tack. Then we jibe, and obviously a front comes in, so it's stronger conditions on the other. So maybe it makes sense. It's another reason why it makes sense to do the starboard rudder. And when we're going the other way on the new rudder, if we do need to do a repair to that one or the port rudder, then we have the choice.
Okay.
Do the same. We'll do all the same picture format we did before. So we top to bottom like that.
Due to the fact that we had sail issues yesterday, we find ourselves in light air. Went to do a peel, and as it got light, we did some routine checking of the yacht. And coming back from doing the peel, Jack noticed a crack in the starboard rudder, which is clearly disconcerting. Particularly in this part of the world. Justine, the genius that she is, suggested that we check the other rudder. And we proceeded to do that, and there's a massive crack just at the root of the port rudder. So we have sent all the information off the boat. It's 8 a.m. in France, and this is in Amoca, so the world revolves around that time zone. And we got a group working on it, and they have all the information now that we have on the boat disseminated to them, and they can make their best suggestions. I think from our side, there's no time like the present to deal with this. We're in light air, and the slower we go, the lighter it'll get. So the sooner we get some information and can make some decisions, certainly the better for our group on board.
Easiest place to cross the boat is probably going to be in here, so we'll go across the tunnel. If you want to receive on the other side, we'll go out the front hatch. Yeah, you want to meet me on the other side?
Three more.
You ready to catch it on the scope, Chaz?
Yeah, he's ready.
right rudders in. Yeah, the other one. A couple of hours ago we found this very large fore and aft crack in the starboard rudder, and on further inspection there's also some cracking higher up where it joins into the... And the hard one is that we have one spare rudder on board, which we just fitted to starboard, so we took this one out because it's the worst. But we've also got some damage on port as well. So I'm looking at this one, and the guys are trying to come up with a bit of a repair schedule of what we can do at sea. If we can eventually grind this back and put a carbon patch on it. But it's hard because, you know, this sort of job, you know, it's a lot of carbon. There's probably, I think there's 7 or 8 layers of outer wrapping, plus then you've got, you know, if it's beyond that, it's a lot of carbon. And obviously you don't have back pumps or filler or paint or any of that sort of stuff as well, so whatever I do is going to be pretty crude. Might be able to get us to the end. That's sort of what we're looking at the moment. But the next couple of hours we've got okay conditions to maybe effect a repair on this one. And then when we jive, you know, as soon as we jive, we're basically going to be in strong winds, so it's going to be very difficult to do anything repair-wise, or even, you know, change the rudder there. We did it in 10 knots with a bit of sea state, but trying to do it in 20, it'd be a bit loose, I think. And there's, you know, so many, not just the physical changing the rudder, which is quite big, but there's also, you know, quite a lot of components that you have to take off, and you know, if you lose one in the water, if you accidentally slip, you know, it's game over for the whole thing. So current dilemma. We'll see how we go. At least we've got a good rudder on starboard now, so, you know, spare rudders are great when you can snap it off and you just change it and off you go. But when both rudders had the same fundamental problem, I don't really like that. But, you know, knowing that we can at least get half the leg points, you know, in a good way.
Yeah.
And then after that, I don't know what
We
this.
can get some points.
I don't know what the solution would be, but
We should probably get.
I don't know how you feel about that, Chaz, but ultimately,
Yeah.
we got the full stop.
I think we should grind this one back. We should sail completely normal to the scoring gate. And if the f***ing rudder blows off, we clean down the scoring gate. Put the other one on and limp to wherever we have to limp to, right? And then, if nothing obvious has happened, we stop, we do an inspection, and we decide, basically. But I think we need to grind that one back.
Okay. And then there's vertical cracking. I mean, I can keep going.
You can hear it just tap testing it with your fingernail.
For me, that's already into the...
Yeah.
That's a lot of wrapping down that it was delaminated through.
Yeah, it's
Like
the
that's
whole,
delaminated through the whole wrapping.
Yeah, it's the whole blade.
That's the thing, because the other one was down to here,
Yeah.
so you got to assume that something like that is delaminated. I think if we go back to this one,
Yeah, with down speed
we're in
anyway. We
real
just
bad place.
cruising, and we just put something. You know, we have to use it. We just put something over to stop any like peeling moments. But we're not trying to.
Reflip again. I don't think. You know, we have a crack about halfway down, which for me is it's a ride off the rudder basically. From the one halfway down, and the cracking around the top, which we have on port, is basically the wrapping laminate, we think. So the actual stock part, the actual structural part of the rudder is still there. Now that we have the starboard spare one in, which is good, well, hopefully good,
because it's the same as the others. We'll sail on this for a few days now, I think, and see how it holds up, and see how the port one holds up. You know, because we can't, you know, as nice as it is to just carry on at all times, you know, this leg you can't underestimate where we're going, and you know, the rudders are, you know, effectively one of the most fundamental parts of a sailing boat. If you can't steer, you can get into some pretty serious situations, especially where we are. So we have to make sure that what we're doing is, you know, obviously there's racing to a point, but then there's security of the yacht and the people on board. So we take all that into consideration as well. So lots to contemplate.
Find ourselves in quite a difficult situation today. Obviously, as a result of having to slow down for sail repairs, we're a little more exposed than the rest of the fleet to the ridge of high pressure behind, which caught us up this morning. And then obviously to slow down to replace the starboard rudder with our spare one, we've been caught up even more by the light pressure. So yeah, we're sort of very much at the risk of being a system back. The sort of positives at the moment is, if we can go at race speed, is that there should be some compression as we're you know, we're first off the back, but we'll be the first to the new weather and slightly more in the south, so that should give us an opportunity to catch up a little bit, assuming that we can sail at something close to normal speed, working out how best to sort of stay in the game competitively, and also you know, making sure we're, you know, first and foremost looking after the boat and the people on it. So not an easy situation we find ourselves in right now.
Start somewhere and then keep an eye on it, and we can see if it's tracking one way or another, or getting worse or better, or going it better. Yeah, we've basically got the next few days to see how it fares, and then make a decision from there what we do. But need the info of what's happening to it.
So we just turned the boat, jibed onto port, which means the rudder that we just changed out is in use for the first time. So we're taking it a little cautiously for now, but we'll see what that does. I mean, in theory, everything should be good. You know, that's why we changed. We got 2,000 miles in this direction on this known to be new rudder. Eventually, the breeze will pick up, and we'll have to put down the port rudder, which is still broken, in a windward capacity, and we'll have to monitor that. We marked it so we can kind of track it underway periodically. Then questions remain about what we're going to do with the other rudder and the state of this port one, but for now, the primary lured rudder for the next 2,000 miles should be in good shape. I mean, it's been a long day. Nobody anticipated this. This started 10 hours ago. It only took an hour and a half to change the actual rudder, but it's consumed the entirety of the day. Grinding it down, investigating, talking to the design team, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Yesterday was all about repairing sails and no one got any sleep, and today's all about switching rudders and grinding them out, trying to make a plan for the future, and nobody got any sleep. So I'm going to try to. We have a yacht race going on. We just jived on a shift that requires downloading weather, downloading competitor skids. It's just been a lot going on. But we look finally settled in decent shape, headed to the east, and I'm going to take this opportunity to get some rest.